you want to know what your triggers are. You want to know, obviously, what that temptation is, right? And then you want to know, okay, how do I replace that temptation with something healthy, right? How do I find something healthy to replace that temptation? And maybe try that thing that's healthy for you, right? And see if that fills that void, or it's not going to fill it all the way, but it fills it to a certain extent. That way you can continue moving on and improving and moving on with your life. Yo, what's goody? What's goody? Latrell in a hoodie, and welcome to another episode of the Brother Next Door podcast, where we talk about finance, personal development, and skills to get you further in life through actionable steps and my own personal experiences. In this episode, we're talking about guarding against temptation, fighting against temptation, resisting against temptation, however you want to put it. But before we do that, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, especially if you've been watching the videos consistently or you just found me, you know what I'm saying? Check out this video. If you like the content, go ahead and leave that like, subscribe, and all that good stuff at the end. But let's get right into it. Understand temptations are going to come up. Everybody has temptations, whether it's food, whether it's women, whether it's guys, whatever the case may be, you will have some sort of temptation. And it's crucial that everything happens when they're supposed to happen. And, there's seasons for everything, right? And so when there is a time, when you need to be focused and locked in, that's really when you need to get rid of those temptations, or at least fight those temptations. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So what's the first thing you can do to guard against temptation? Give somebody access to that temptation. This is a vulnerable moment, right? This is a vulnerable place in your life. And so have somebody that you can trust, that you can truly go to, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, whether it's a pastor, whatever the case may be, that you can go to and say, hey, I'm struggling in this area in my life. One, do you have strategies, tips, or anything along those lines to help me in this area? And two, can I call you when I'm about to fall into that temptation? Now that's deep. That's tough. And you got to have somebody that's available for something like that, right? Whether it's late at night or early in the morning or in the middle of the day, whatever the case may be. Obviously, they're not going to be there for you every minute of the day, but they should be available and willing to answer that call, or at least get back to you super quick with a text message. Hey, don't do it, whatever the case may be. You're stronger than that, whatever the case may be. But being able to reach out before you fall into that temptation is very powerful. I'm in a group chat of about 15 guys, and it's called The Web, and it's just to catch us right before we fall into temptation, which is a really dope concept. And so whenever we're struggling with whatever it may be, we just, hit up the group chat. Hey, I need a FaceTime real quick. I'm really struggling with whatever the case may be. And we just get on the phone, talk. Hey, how are you doing? There's some guys I still haven't met yet. And every time we get on that group chat, it's somebody new that I'm meeting and interacting with and all that good stuff. And so it's a good time on both sides, whether I'm the one calling or whether it's somebody else calling, to be able to help out these group of guys, just be able to get through this season of their life with whatever they are struggling with. So have somebody that has access to what you are struggling with. Have access to what you're dealing with, right? Not necessarily what you're struggling with, but what you're personally dealing with. That way they could better help you as you go along this journey. Next, boundaries. Set boundaries. Set clear limits in various areas of your life to prevent crossing into harmful territory. Rather than fighting against, this is key, rather than fighting against temptation, do your best to avoid it at all costs. Rather than fighting against it, avoid it at all costs. Because your will is a lot more likely to give up than just avoiding it, right, altogether, right? So if you're struggling with sweets or whatever the case may be, don't even have it in the house. Even if other family members enjoy it, kids enjoy it, whatever, wife enjoys it, whatever, just, for this season, for this moment, I can't have this. in my life right now. It's okay if we just leave the sweets out, or you eat it at work or whatever the case may be, but we don't have the sweet in the house because I need to, lock in, right? So set clear boundaries with yourself and be honest with yourself. Know your triggers. Know, hey, when this happens, or when I see this, or when I hear this, I'm more likely to go to what I am tempted with. Set clear boundaries. Contentment. This is a really good one. Cultivate gratitude and acceptance for yourself and your circumstances to reduce and allure of seeking fulfillment through external means. What does this basically mean? Be comfortable, be in love with where you are now, right? Be in love with who you are now rather than what that temptation gives you. Because understand, 9 times out of 10, it's probably something that's really short lived, that's really quick, something that's going to go away and then you need it again 5 minutes later, right? And so, yes, it feels good. That's why you keep going back to it, whatever that temptation may be. But it may not be good for you in the long run. And so you want to be content in, hey, I don't I don't need that. I don't have to live with that struggle, right? I don't absolutely need it. I can be comfortable. I can live a fulfilled life. I can live a great and happy life without it, right? And so when you get into that mindset, then it makes it easier to, in a way, compare, like, hey, I kind of like how I feel now compared to how I feel when I'm doing that thing. Although it feels good, I rather have a sustained feeling of feeling good all the time, or most of the time. You're not going to feel good all the time, but most of the time, compared to only getting that blip of high and then, falling into that temptation. Next, self awareness. Gain a deep understanding of your thoughts, emotions, and triggers. This will empower you to make intentional choices that align with personal values. This goes along with the boundaries. So you want to be self aware. You want to be aware of where you struggle, like I was saying earlier. So I'm not going to go too deep into this one because, like I said, it goes hand in hand with boundaries. But you want to know what your triggers are. You want to know, obviously, what that temptation is, right? And then you want to know, okay, how do I replace that temptation with something healthy, right? How do I find something healthy to replace that temptation? And maybe try that thing that's healthy for you, right? And see if that fills that void, or it's not going to fill it all the way, but it fills it to a certain extent. That way you can continue moving on and improving and moving on with your life. Last but not least, establish a routine. Cultivate positive habits and routines that reinforce your goals and aspirations. So you want a routine, right? When it comes to me, I'm trying to read my Bible more. I'm trying to build a stronger relationship with God. And my temptation is to be on my phone way too much, just way too much, right? Period. And so to do that, it starts by waking up at 5, right? Getting everything I need to get done, washing my face, basic hygiene stuff, getting dressed, and then, writing down what I'm grateful for every day, right? Building that contentment, right? See, when you have to come up with 10 things that you're grateful for, even though nothing crazy, amazing happened, like it wasn't your birthday, nobody gave you an extravagant gift, nothing like that. When it's just a basic, regular day, but you have to come up with 10 things that you're grateful for, it really makes you turn your gears in your head. It really makes you work on being grateful for the current life that you have. And so that's that. There you go. That's a way to build contentment, is that exercise right there, writing down 10 things you're grateful for. But going back to number 5, doing my grateful list and then spending time in the Word, and then getting on the Bible app, doing the daily devotional and all that good stuff, praying before. And then as soon as I drive to the parking lot, right, once I park, before I go inside, I do a little prayer. and then I go into work and start my day. But that's how I start my day. Understand how you start your day largely determines how the rest of your day goes, unless something crazy happens after the fact. But if you start your day strong, then you're most likely to stay along that track for the rest of the day. Then it's like, after work, it's like, okay, I want to get in my Bible a little bit more, or whatever the case may be. And so establish a good routine. Everybody's not a morning person, so if that's not you, okay, cool. But if you know, right, if you have a tendency to get home and just lay in the bed and not do anything right here, then try going to a Starbucks, try going to a coffee shop, try doing something where you're not in proximity with your bed and that's just tempting you to just lay down and be lazy and do nothing. When it comes to the gym, I have a tendency to not want to, like, fam, I think last week was the first week I only went like one time out of the whole week in like a long time. And it was just, one, I was busy, but two, I was just too lazy after doing the stuff I needed to get done to still go to the gym or at least go outside and run. You feel me? And so with that, now this week it's like, all right, bro, I gotta figure something out. And so it's like, you know what? After I get home, I'm gonna just go straight to the gym. Let me just go straight to the gym, get the good workout in real quick, and then head out and go about my day. But get the hard stuff done first. There's a book called Eat the Frog. That's the main concept with that one is just getting that hard stuff done first at the beginning of the day. That way the rest of the day just becomes gradually easier and easier. But those are the 5 things. Give somebody access to what you are struggling with, to set up boundaries in your life in multiple areas of your boundaries to keep you aligned with staying away from that temptation. Contentment, be content with not having that thing that you're so tempted with that's leading you astray from where you are called to be. Be self-aware. Know yourself. If you don't know yourself, spend time with yourself and get to know yourself. And last but not least, establish routines, whether it's in the morning, whether it's after work, whether it's middle of the night, it doesn't matter. Establish a routine that you can follow on a daily basis. That way, it just becomes like muscle memory and it becomes easier and easier to resist that temptation because you already have a natural rhythm of how you conduct your day. So I hope you guys are enjoying the episode. Like I said, leave likes, leave comments, subscribe. Let me know what you like. Let me know what I can improve on. Constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. And I will see y'all in the next episode. Peace.